Hello and welcome to Rain Francis Art. My name is Rain. Today I am doing a little bit of art therapy. I'm doing a Bob Ross style oil painting of a cold winter night on a lake. This is what I'll be using for the painting today. Well, I have my oil paints and I have my palette here. I've got a bunch of colors. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to be using, but I brought them all out. I have titanium white, crimson red, lamp black, burnt sienna, Prussian blue, and ultramarine blue. I have some paintbrushes that I got at the dollar store, and I have a whole bunch on the side here. The last time I did the painting, I decided to go get a bunch of them, so I have like 8 of them or something. I have a nice round brush here. It says it's in number 6. I've got a bunch of paper towels. I have a palette knife because I'm thinking I might try to carve in some kind of building or something like that. I have my odorless paint thinner here at the ready, and of course I have my canvas, which I have painted with black acrylic paint. It is dollar store black acrylic paint, nothing fancy. I watched a whole bunch of Bob Ross videos recently, and I think I kind of know what I'm doing, but we shall see. Now what I'm going to do first, he always uses this stuff called liquid clear or liquid white, and I don't have any of that stuff. So I did paint it black, just so I have a dark canvas. And on my palette here, I'm going to take my lamp black, and I'm going to put a little bit on there. I have nothing prepared. I'm starting this. The only thing I prepared was the canvas. And I've got some Prussian blue, because I remember him saying that he put a layer of black and Prussian blue. I don't think he used lamp black, but I am going to, because that's the only black I have. So I just have, this is a number 1. Actually, I'm going to use this number 2 brush, and I'm going to get the black on the brush, and I'm just going to put a layer of that black and blue together, mixing it up together. I might need more paint, or maybe I'll just use a little touch of paint thinner on there. Maybe that'll spread on a little better. Do I have, let me double check here. This is in the right position here, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to have to definitely add some more of that black onto my palette, and some of the Prussian blue as well. Some of the Prussian blue, and I'm doing this off camera. There we go. And I'm going to load up. I probably could have used a number 1 brush instead of a number 2 brush, because the number 2 brush holds a lot more paint. So let me just get all of that onto the canvas. Because, you know, when you're oil painting, everything blends so well, you know. I'm going to be adding white for the sky, and it's really going to blend nicely with what I already have on my canvas here. Let me get some more of that paint. And I'm not doing a huge thick layer here. I'm just doing a thin layer. And I'm trying to spread it out as much as I can. There we go. There. I have a nice thin layer of black and Prussian blue on my canvas. So the next color I'm going to put on my palette is a little bit of that titanium white. Okay? And because I don't have everything prepared, I have to stop and close these every time. Make sure they don't dry up. I'm going to take this 1-inch brush here, And I'm going to put some titanium white on it because I want to have a little bit of light in the sky because it is a winter night scene. We're going to we're going to paint the moon too. So I'm doing, this is a total Bob Ross technique, crisscrossing. Okay, and I'm going to put some more titanium white on there because I want it to be nice and bright in the middle. And I'm going to pull that away, crisscrossing as I go. And as I feel I need to, I'm going to add more of that white onto my palette, which I feel I need to. So away I go. Drop the cap there. Just put a little bit more on there because I want it to be brighter there. There we go. So now I'm going to continue to pull that out by doing crisscrosses. And you see how that's kind of blending with the black and the blue underneath? I think that's really, really neat. Adding a little bit more white to my brush. I'm going to have to stop once in a while because I have very bright lights and I can't see very well unless I'm standing up and looking through my camera lens. Adding a little more titanium white. Okay, so we've got sort of an idea of a sky there, skyline. Now, what Bob Ross usually does is he takes a clean brush. I have this nice new 2-inch brush. Look at, I've got it all over my fingers already. And he does this. There, he just kind of goes back and forth very lightly. Like that. I've put a little more of that titanium white onto my palette, and I did clean off my brush by dipping it into the Odorless paint thinner, and I've kind of loaded it up here, and I want to add some more white. I really want this sky to stand out a little more than it is right now. And that's just me. You guys can do whatever you want with your painting. As Bob Ross says, this is your world. Do what you like. Because the idea is that the moon is going to be right around here. So it's always a little brighter around the moon, isn't it, in the sky? I forgot to mention that this is a dollar store canvas that I bought here. It's, I think it's 9 inches by 12 inches. It cost me $1.25 or something. So here I go again, just sort of blending. Okay, and I think I'm okay with that. Let's see. A little air. A little hair and some air. I think, is that what he said, Bob Ross, when he's talking about how lightly you should press? Just a little hair and some air. So I have my round brush here, and I'm going to try to, this is pretty dirty, but I'm going to try to get some of the titanium white that doesn't have any black or blue on it, because I want to make my little moon here. Probably about, let's see, where's the brightest areas around here. So I'm just going to make a little moon. Bob Ross does this with his fingers. I don't want to do it with my fingers. Okay, just going to wipe that off and grab a little bit more of the titanium white and make that a little whiter. There, that'll be good. Oh, I'm going to try to smooth out the edges. Maybe add a little more paint. That'll be good for my moon. See, from my perspective, I'm actually standing right now and looking through my camera, because if I sit down, this looks completely gray and I can't see it. because of those crazy bright lights. I think we'll leave that for the moon. I decided to get rid of my moon and do what Bob Ross does and just take my finger, stick it into the titanium white, because now I know why he does it. He's got a nice thick area here of paint, and he just goes like this, very lightly. And that's the moon, and it comes off much brighter than it does if I use a paintbrush. So there's my moon. I put a little bit of ultramarine blue onto my canvas, and I've got another 1-inch brush here, and I'm going to attempt to make some clouds. And I've got dogs walking around. Just some clouds in the sky. I was going to use a darker blue, but I think the ultramarine blue will show better. These are just wispy clouds. Can you see those okay? I'm going to add a little more ultramarine blue. It's the ultramarine blue. I'm going to add that to my palette. I'm using a lot of paint today. The ultramarine blue is a little more liquidy, I noticed, than the other ones. I'm just adding blue here. Oh, that's nice. Nice texture. I'm so sorry my canvas is moving. I should have taped it down. Getting some more ultramarine blue there. I am totally just winging this. I watched his video, but he uses a fan brush, and I don't know. I just kind of want to do my own thing today with a little bit of his technique in the background. Well, it's all of his technique, right? So I've got some clouds in the sky here. And what he did, if I remember correctly, and if I have a clean brush, he took some of the titanium white, which I'm putting on my palette there. He used a fan brush, like I said, but I am loading this up with titanium white, this 1-inch brush, okay? And he did highlights. Above the clouds. To make them stand out a little more, like that. And I'm going to try to fix this so it looks a little better. How about I have this brush that I used for the ultramarine blue. And I'm just sort of softening that out a little bit. Doing little circles. It looks a little bit like a stormy sky, doesn't it? And I want a little more of the ultramarine blue. Oh, I like the way that looks. All right. I have a little more of that titanium white here. And I've got another clean brush. And I want to do a little bit of a snowy area. Like a little path, maybe, of snow down here. A little more of that titanium white. That could even look like reflection in the water. can't it? Maybe I'll change the direction of this painting and I'll make it a winter ocean scene. The sky is cold enough looking. I don't know, maybe it'll become abstract. I'm not sure yet. But I am going to grab a brush and kind of wipe it a little bit. I want to soften that sky, and I'm going to go very lightly, extremely lightly, without touching the moon. There. Yeah, that softened it up a little better. Just wiping off my brush on a paper towel off camera. So I want to get that a little smoother. If I have to go back in and make the moon look a little more round, I will. I just don't want my brush marks showing too much. I've put some more ultramarine blue and white on my canvas here. I'm going to pull a little bit of white into the ultramarine blue. I'm just kind of loading up my brush a little bit. And I thought maybe I would do a real Bob Ross thing here and put some bushes. I've decided I'm turning this into what might be a lake. There. I think that looks pretty nice. So I've got a beautiful winter sky. It's very cold. The sky is very cold looking. We've got a little reflection in the water and we've got some bushes all around it. I'm so happy I decided to go in this direction. I've got my paint thinner here. I'm just cleaning off my brush. I still need to get a better setup for my oil painting. I'm on my little desk and it doesn't really work very, very well when it comes to oil painting. But I'm wiping off that brush. I'm trying to get as much of the blue off as I can because I want to go back into that titanium white and just tap into the white. And I'm going to give these little bushes some highlights. Just like that. And then maybe go back into the ultramarine blue. Do the same thing. Put some blue under there. Well, that's looking pretty. I'm kind of just doing my own thing right now. Another art therapy day, let's call it. So we've got some nice brush there. Some highlighting. Nice colors. Beautiful cold sky. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is take that finger again, get some of that white, and I'm going to try to fix that moon to make sure I don't lose the round shape. Oh, I made it too big. That's okay. Let's see if I can fix it. The thing about oil paint is you can always remove it. I love that. It's a little lopsided again. Here's what I'm going to do. I will get this right. There. Let's try that again. Okay, that's good enough for me. I think I'm going to call that done, my friends. What do you think? I started off wanting to do a little sort of like copy, I guess, what Bob Ross was doing. He had like snowbanks, and he had dark bushes and a big tree coming up here, and then he did a barn, and he did a house, and I just decided at the last minute I kind of like the way it looks with this reflection here. It almost looks like there's a lake there. So I'm glad that I went in that direction. I really enjoyed this today, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Let me know in the comments what you think, and please like and subscribe if you don't want to miss any new posts. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thanks for joining me today, my friends, and I'll see you next time on Rain Francis Art. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.